Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So before you start, hit that subscribe button below. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, just a short program to show some evaluation. Quick evaluation here. So I'm going to create a scalar variable. It's going to be called name is equal to Joe, and age it's gone wrong there. Let me try that again. Okay, scalar age is equal to, that's what's gone wrong. There we go. And that, whoops, let's put that back on. Okay, that's more like it. Scalar age is equal to 59. Okay, so now I'm going to create something called status. And this is the shortcut evaluation that we're going to do here. So scalar age, if scalar age is greater than, let's say, 60, not 80, 60. I'm going to use this here. So that says if scalar age is greater than 60, we're going to say something like OAP, and then we're going to separate it here. So if the scalar age here is greater than 60, it's going to say OAP, or else it's going to say still young. Okay, so that's the one-liner. Now we're just going to print it out. Print simply scalar name is, we're going to put scalar status and a new line character. Okay, so let's just save that and let's just run it. So there we go. Joe is still young because the age is not greater than 60. So let's just change the age here, make it 70. Save that and it should evaluate to OAP. Joe is OAP, pardon the grammar, that should be Joe is an OAP. Now, there you go. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, so I'm going to create a number here, scalar num, and I'm going to assign a value of 4. Okay, now I'm going to create a subroutine called generate. Okay, and I'm going to create a scalar variable here called rand num, which is going to be a random number that we're going to generate, equal to int, which is integer, rand, and I'm going to put 10 in here. So I want to generate a random number between 1 and 10 here. So we're going to use a conditional now. So if the random number that's being generated is equal to scalar number, which is this one, it's equal to number 4. So if the random number that we've generated is equal to this number up here, number 4, we're going to do something. So let me just make that look a bit nicer for you. There we go, a bit more readable. So we're going to print something, a message to the user. print scalar num, which is number 4 up here, reached. New line. And then we're going to use sleep here and put 2 in, so that's going to give us a 2-second pause. And then we're going to go back to generate. Whoops, if I spell it right. Generate. We're going to go back to generate up there and do the same thing again. Else. Comes the else statement. Else. Print the random number. And a new line there. And we're going to go back to generate again, start it all over again. No. No! I don't know. Right, okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to write generate. Okay. So I'm going to run this program, and there we go. Generating random numbers until it reaches number 4, then it'll randomly generate some more until it reaches number 4 again. So those are the random numbers that it's been generating. There we go, it's generated that, and it'll keep on going round and generating random numbers until it reaches number 4, like that, and it will carry on forever. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and sorry about that little intrusion before, sorry about that. Okay, I'll catch you in another video. Bye channel. Today we're going to do a fun little project where we open search engines. But before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thank you very much for doing that, and as always, supporting this channel. I really appreciate it, guys, and if you could find your way to drop in a comment below, just say hello or whatever you want to say, that would be great. That would put a smile on my face. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the project. So we're going to start off with my scalar URL1. It's going to be https://google.com. Okay, so that's the first URL. The second URL that we're going to use is my URL2. It's going to be equal to https://bing.com. Okay, and the third search engine I'm going to use is my scalar URL3 equal to https://yahoo.com. So got a few of the major search engines there. So now we're going to create a subroutine, which is going to be called search. Okay, so this is the subroutine here, and we're going to print enter our search engine. Let's try that again, shall we? Enter a search engine. Okay, so we're going to do my scalar entry is equal to standard input. This will take the standard input, the input from the user, what the user types in, and underneath we use the chomp scalar entry. Okay, and now we come on to the if conditional statement. So first of all, if scalar entry is eq, which is equal to scalar, let's say url1, so url1, we're going to do something. Okay, let's just pop that back there, make it look a little bit neater. So we're going to print opening Google, new line character there, and then we're going to send it down to another subroutine which is going to be called Google. So underneath here we're going to create another subroutine called Google. So sub Google. Okay, so this is the Google subroutine here, and how we do that, we start off with the word system. Okay, and then we need start, and then that's going to be scalar url1. Okay, so that should launch into Google there. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next one now, which is going to be bang.com. Not Bang, it's Bing, not Bang. I've never heard of a search engine called Bang. If you have, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, so what we're going to do here, we're going to start off with an else if. The scalar entry is equal to scalar url2. Again, we're going to do something. So we're going to print opening Bing. There we go, and then we're going to do Bing, and we'll do that in a minute. We will create that in a minute. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is going to be else if scalar entry is equal to scalar url3. We're going to do something else here, so this is going to be print opening Yahoo. Okay, and then that's going to be Yahoo. Whoops, Yahoo. Okay, and finally we're going to do something else. We're going to end with else. So else, if the user types in anything else from here, we're going to give them a kind of like little error message. So that's going to be print entry not recognized. Entry not recognized there. So there we go. Right, okay, so we've got one, so we're going to create another subroutine here for Bing. So it's going to be sub Bing. This is going to be the other subroutine. That's going to be system. That's going to be start. That's going to be scalar URL2. Okay, and the next sun. It's not sun, it's sub. Okay, and the last one. Last subroutine here is going to be Yahoo. So again, system, and that's going to be start scalar URL3. Okay, and then all we need to do is call it, and we call this by search here. Search like that. That's how we call it. We'll save it and we'll just have a quick look at the code. So we've got all the URLs there. So URL1 refers to google.com. So if somebody enters, let's say https google.com, it's going to take them there, and so on and so forth. So let's say entry is equal to URL1 here. It will print a message opening Google, and this bit here will take us down to this subroutine here called Google, and it will start the URL. So let's test it out, shall we? Here we go. Enter a search engine. I'm going to enter the full thing here. https://google.com. Hit enter, and there we go. That's Google. Okay, let's run it again. We'll go all the way through this, make sure there's no errors in it. So https, and that's going to be bing.com. Enter. There we go, bing.com. I'm not a fan of that search engine, by the way. And the last one, https://yahoo.com. Hit enter, and there we go. That's yahoo.com. And let's just have a look, see if this is working. The else statement. So let me just type in a load of old rubbish in here, like that. Okay, hit entry. Entry not recognized. So there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you enjoyed that. Today we're going to delete a file from the desktop from here, this file here. So without further ado, make sure you hit that subscribe button first. It's down below. It's the red thing down there. Okay, thank you very much for supporting the channel. Okay, let's create a subroutine called delete file. Okay, this is the subroutine. We're going to have to create the path to it. So my scalar path is going to be equal to C : users, mark, and desktop. Okay, so for you, your path will be different. It won't be this one, so you'll have to find out what your path is. So we're going to do chdr, which is change directory, to this particular path here. Okay, and then we're going to print enter a file, so a file you want to delete off your desktop. Okay, so that's going to be my scalar del file. It's going to be equal to standard input. Okay, and then chomp del file. Right, and now we're just going to print a message to the user telling the user we are deleting file, new line. Okay, and then we're going to put sleep here, so we're going to give it a pause for 1 second so it looks like it's working. Okay, and then we're going to print user a message saying file deleted. Okay. Right, all we have to do now is call the program, delete file. So I have forgot to use the unlink on here, so it's going to be unlink, then scalar del file. Okay, let's just save that. In my haste, it's going a little bit too fast there, so let's run it again. So let's put a.txt deleting file, and there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. Okay, before we start, hit that subscribe button below. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, this is a very noob friendly tutorial on how to create a subroutine, sometimes also known as functions, especially in languages like Python. So here we go. We're just going to start off with sub. Okay, and I'm going to call this first name and curly brackets there. And we're just going to print out a message to the user. So print hello, my name is, and I'm going to put scalar name here, and this is a new line character. Okay, so I'm going to create a name up here. So I'm going to create my scalar name is equal to Dave. Okay, I'm going to create my scalar surname is going to be equal to Jones. Okay, so subroutine, second name, again curly braces there, and we're going to print out print second name is, then we're going to do the scalar and the surname here, surname. Okay, then a /n for new line, and what we're going to do, we're going to jump from one subroutine to the other subroutine. So we're going to go from first, once we execute this, we're going to jump into this subroutine and execute that. So this is going to be second name. Okay, now all we have to do is call this subroutine, and we're going to call it with first name here. So first name. Okay, we're going to save it and run it. There you go. Hello, my name is Dave. Second name is Jones. So Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, today we're going to print out the documents and everything in Windows Documents folder. But before we can do that, make sure you call this module here CWD like that, or else you won't be able to do it. Okay, let's start off with a subroutine, and I'm going to call it docs, something like that. So Very simple. And then we're going to create a scalar here called let's have a look, what can I call it? Dir. So document directory equal to, and then another scalar value here, env, curly brackets, user profile. Okay. Then we're going to do backslashes and the directory we want to look in, which is documents. Okay. And we're going to do my scalar files, and we're going to use glob here. And it's going to be doc directory / Okay, now we're going to loop through the files in there, so we use a for each loop. My file, files, and then we're going to print out the files there, so that's going to simply be print file new line. Alright, all we have to do now is to call it documents. And save it. Okay, here we go. Okay, got a little bit of a problem there. Okay, looking around for the problem, it's simply this: I call it documents instead of docs. Slight error there, so let's just change that to docs to actually call the function. Okay, let's save it, and this time it should work. So let's have a look. So we're going to loop through the Windows Documents directory. Ah, there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. So it's looped through everything in my documents folder or directory. So I hope you enjoyed that, and remember, thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It'll really help the channel out. So first of all, I'm going to create, whoops, that's in caps, I'm going to create a hash. Okay. I'm going to call the hash names. Okay. So let's have a look. I'm going to put some keys in it. I'm just going to say John, and age is 45, and then Dave, age is 67, and then let's say Paul, age is 100. Bit of an old fogey is Paul. And let's have a look. Pete, yeah, Pete is 23. He's a bit of a young pup. Okay, so that's our hash there. I'm going to create a subroutine. It's called get hash size. So we're going to get the size of this hash. Okay, so I'm going to create a scalar here called my. This is going to be into an array. Keys is equal to the hash names. Okay, It's going to be my scalar hash size is going to be equal to the array of keys. Okay, now we're going to print this out. Print hash size is, and that's going to be hash size and a new line. Okay, now all we have to do is to call this subroutine and call it get hash size. Okay, just save it there. Let's run it. So I want to know the size of this hash. Let's run it. So the size of the hash is 8. So there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. Hope you've enjoyed that. And before you go, just take a couple of seconds, drop me a comment, say hello or whatever, and make sure you're subscribed, and of course hit the like button, and I will see you again in another video. Bye. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, we're going to read the files in my documents. So I'm going to start off with my scalar path directory. So let's have a look. I think I'll put that in caps there, path directory. And we're going to type in the directory that we want to read. So for me, I'm on Windows. This is C users. Remember, your directory path will be different. If you type in the path that I put on here, it won't work on your machine, so you have to get the unique path for your particular machine. Just remember that. And this is going to be documents. Okay, so that's the path I'm heading for. So I'm going to use open dir directory. So I'm going to create another scalar variable called dir here. Okay, and then we're going to do the path directory, which I wrote above. Okay, and then we're going to put an exception handler in here, or die. So if anything goes wrong, we should get a little message, and the message could be something like can't open directory, something like that, something pretty generic and self-explanatory. Okay, so we're going to do a while loop here. So while my file, which will iterate through it, and that's going to be read directory. Okay, so we're going to iterate through the directory, and then we're going to print out what we're looping through. So that's going to be file new line. Okay, and then all we have to do is close the directory once we've finished. So that's going to be close dir. Okay, so that's the code. Let's save it and let's run it. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an error here. Let's just check this out. Okay, nothing too major. I forgot to put the assignment operator there. Okay, let's just save that and let's just run it, and let's have a look what's in See My Documents. Okay, so these are the directories in here. I've got a directory called other shit, Perl, Python, Python screenshots, and so on. So I hope you like that, and remember, thumbs up, subscribe, and okay, so I'm going to start off with a subroutine. Sub copy contents. Okay, but before we do that, hit that subscribe button now. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so we're going to go on and we're going to, let's have a look, type open file, and I'm going to call this file 1. Okay, and file 1, I've actually got file 1 here, and it's called mark.txt, so that's in my Perl directory. So that's going to be mark.txt. So this is going to open the file to read. Now we're going to do another one, open. And we're going to call this file 2. And I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it x.txt. Okay, made a little mistake there. Whoops. Okay, so that's going to be called file 2. I made another mistake there as well. Okay, that's better. So this is going to be file 2, and we're going to open a new file to write to it, and then we're going to do while here. And this is going to be file 1. Take that down there a little bit further, make it look a bit more presentable. Okay, so this is going to accept the data from one file to another, and then we're going to print file 2, and then just do that. And then all we do now, once we've done that, we close file 1. Close file 1 and close, whoops, close file 2. Okay, and now we just simply call the subroutine, which is called copy contents. Right, we save that, and just hope I haven't made any typos, and let's run it. Okay, slight error there. Aha, in my haste I forgot to do this. This means to read, and this here is to write in my haste. Okay, let's just save that again and run it. Okay, so we've got a clear output here, so let's go and check, should we? Let's see if we've got a file called x.txt, if we've copied it. So let's go into the Perl directory again. So we've got the original file here, it says hello in it, and we've got X file here which says hello in it. So we've copied that file to there. So there you go. Pop's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you like that, and remember, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to do a little mini project. Hope it's going to be fun for you. So let's start. I'm going to do create an array, called banned users, and we're going to populate this with something like Joe, Dave, and Bill, the usual suspects. Okay, so that's ban users. I'm going to create a password, which is going to be scalar password, and we're just going to say something like admin. Okay, that's the password, and now we're going to create our first subroutine called login. So we call it sub login, and put the code in here. So print enter user name. Okay, and then we're going to get the input of the user. I'm going to call this scalar user is equal to standard input, which is going to get the input that the user types in there. Then of course we do the chomp. Okay, which is going to be user. Right, now we're going to come across and we're going to use the conditional. So I'm going to start off with the if. I'll use grep, which will do the searching. Then I'm going to use this as an iterator, which will iterate through the ban users. So if it's equal to, let's make that look a little better. Okay, I think that looks okay. Equal to the user, then in banned users, then we're going to do something. If it comes across, if it's searching and it comes across a banned user, we're going to do something. Let's have a look here. So we're going to print out some info to the user. So this user is banned. Okay, new line there. So this user is banned, and then we're going to go up to the top. Try again. I'm going to create a new subroutine. So we can just jump down here. So new subroutine is going to be called sub try again. So I'm going to start it down here. So this is going to be sub try again. Okay. Right. So we just send them back up to login again. Okay, so if it searches through here and finds the ban user, it goes try again, which will send them down to this subroutine, and then this will send them back up there to login again. Right, okay. Now we're going to do the else statement, which we're going to start here. Else. Let's just bring this down here a little bit. Print user isn't banned. Okay. And now we're going to print another message to the user telling them what's going to happen now. So you can access the web. Okay. Right, so the user will see that, and I'm going to put a little time delay on this using sleep here. So I'm going to put a 2-second time delay on that. Sleep. And then I'm going to type web, which is going to be another subroutine that I'm going to create underneath here. So I'm going to create the subroutine called web. Whoops, wrong. Sub web. Okay, and now we're going to print a message to the user so they know what's going on within the program. That's going to be opening browser. And we're going to do another little sleep, give it a little pause of 1 second. And I'm going to create something here, a scalar called my URL, and that's going to be equal to, I'm just going to do a search engine, HTTPS, that's going to be colon google.com. Okay, then under it we type system, and then start, and then the scalar URL. Okay, and that should nearly do it. All we've got to do now is call the program. So we're going to call it by saying login at the bottom here. So login, and let's just save that. Okay, let's run the program. Okay, so we've got a little bit of syntax error here, so that's something to do with like spelling or something like that. So let's just check this out. Okay, very minor, guys. That's all it was. Let's just save it. Okay, let's have a look at here. We're going to run this now. Okay, I'm going to type in a ban user. So enter a ban username, Joe. Okay, this user is banned, so what's happened here, it's searched through the users and it's found out that this user is banned, and it's printed off this message and it's done a try again. So what's happened here, it's gone to try again, which has jumped it down to this subroutine here, and then this subroutine has passed it back up here to login again. So let's try it again. Let's try Dave. Okay, he's another banned user. Okay, so this user is banned. Okay, let's try Steve. Okay, user isn't banned. You can access the web, opening browser, and there you go, everybody. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. Hope you enjoyed that, and remember to give it a big thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, do it now, don't waste any time. Today we're going to extract some elements from an array. So before we start, hit that subscribe button now. Okay, thank you very much for doing that and supporting this channel. Okay, so let's create a subroutine, and we're going to call it array extraction. Okay, right, so we're going to print a message to the user, which is going to be extracting elements from array. Okay, new line character there. Okay, so now we're going to create my array, and we're going to populate it with some names. The usual suspects, by the way: Dave, Bill, let's say Joe. Should we have another one? Steve. Okay, Steve will keep Joe company. Right, I think that's enough. Okay, So my scalar extracted, we're going to create extracted here. So not scalar, sorry, this is an array, so that's going to be equal to the array. And now we're going to put in some parameters. So I want to extract 0 from here in the array, which is Dave. Who else do I want to extract? 0, 1, 2. I'll extract Joe. And then one more, -1, which is going to be Steve here. So I'm going to extract 3 names from the array. Okay, now we're going to hit print, and we're going to say extracted elements are, and we're going to use extracted there, and a new line character. Right. All we have to do now is to call the function array extraction. Okay, so we're just going to save that and let's run the program, shall we? Okay, so extracting elements from the array. Extracted elements are Dave, Joe and Steve. So let's just check this up. So Dave is position 0, Joe is position 2, so that's 0, 1, 2, yeah, and Steve is position -1 here. So there you go, Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will thank you very much for doing that and supporting the channel. Right, let's start off. Let's create a subroutine here called print array list. Okay, so we're going to create an array. This is array, whoops, array list. Okay. Right. And underneath we're going to print added other arrays to the list. Okay. Oh dear, I've forgotten one thing here. It's the array list. Okay. Underneath here, we're going to create some arrays. So the first one is going to be numbers. So that's going to be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and another array names. This is going to be equal to Dave, Joe and Pete. I think they're all friends by now. They've ended up in so many arrays together, so they must know each other by now. Okay, here we go. The next one, I'm going to create an array called string, which is going to be equal to this is a string. Okay, and now underneath we're going to print the arrays out. So here we go. This is going to be called array, print array, array list. Okay, so we're going to print out the numbers array, and the names array and the string array. Okay, so let's just save that and let's just run it and see if we can print out those. Okay, so here we go. There we go, it's printed them out into array list. Oops, sorry about the formatting there. Never mind. Added other arrays to the list. Let's have a look. Let's run it again. Okay, so we've got all the arrays here. So we've got the first one, numbers, and we've got the names, and then we've got the strings. So there you go. Bob's your uncle, and Fanny is your auntie as always. And thank you very much. And supporting this channel. Okay, we're just going to start off. I'm going to create something called my scalar path, and that's going to be equal to C users mark desktop, and a folder that I have on here on the desktop called PPP. Okay, so make sure when you do this on your system that you get the file path right, because this file path here will work on my computer, it won't work on yours. So you need to get the file path to your desktop and create a folder on your desktop called PPP. Okay, so we're going to create the first subroutine here, which is going to be called open directory, and the directory of course is PPP. Okay, so first of all we're going to change the directory, whoops, CHDIR, this is change directory, to the path above, so we want to be in that directory and call it path 1. Let me just change the name of that to 1, path 1 there. Okay, now we're going to create a little array called files is equal to this glob here, because we're going to search through the files, and then we're going to do this wildcard symbol here and a for each loop, and this will iterate through it, which is going to be files let's just put that there, and then we're going to print out the files in that particular directory. Okay, let's just make sure that works, and I can show you what it's all about. Open directory. Okay, let's just save this. Okay, so in our directory we've got two files. We've got an rtf.rtf file and a text document. So basically we've changed to that particular directory, this path here and this directory here, and we've looped through it and looked at the files. Okay, so now I'm going to create another subroutine called open file, and 10 points for guessing what this subroutine is going to be doing. Actually, when you write subroutines and things like this, you should always give them names that kind of explain what they're going to do. So if somebody else comes along and reads your code, they can look at it and say, yeah, this subroutine does this, yeah, I understand that. So it's got to be very clear names. So let's have a look. I'm going to do, what should I call it? Something very clear. So I'm going to call it open file, so we can all agree that that is a clear enough name for anybody who comes to read the code. Again, we're going to change the directory CHDIR, so that's going to be path 1. Okay, we're going to print file name. Okay, so oopsie daisy, file name there, and then we're going to do some input. So we're going to get the input from the user, which is going to be my entry is going to be equal to standard input. So the user is going to input the file name he wants to open. Okay, so this is the part where we open the file. So open, I'm going to say file handler, open file handler, and we're going to do scalar entry, or die, error opening, and then we're going to do a while loop, equal to file handler. This will just print it out. And then of course when we've finished looping through it, looping through the lines, we're going to print them out, aren't we? So that's going to be print and a new line character there. And then we're just going to do the close the file handler down here, which is going to be close the file handler. Okay, now all we have to do is call this program. I'm going to call it by open directory. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's just run that. Okay, so we're in there. So what text should I open? Okay, let's have a look. Let's just check this out. 1 second. Let me just run this one up here. I'll run the first one, which is open directory, without heading to the open file. Let's just do that. Open directory. Okay, so it's telling me we've got 2 text in here. I tell you what, I'm going to make one a little bit shorter. I'm going to add another one there, which is going to be, let's create this. I'm going to call it a dot, not a uppercase, a.txt. Let's just open this file up and let's just enter some text in here like that. Save it. Okay, let's go back to our original file here. And so we've got a.txt is shown up there. So let's go into it, shall we? So I'm going to do open file. I'm going to run this subroutine here. Save that. run the subroutine. Okay, so I'm going to open a.txt, and there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you enjoyed that, and remember to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you in another video. Before we start, hit that subscribe button. Okay, today we're going to get the home directory, but before you do that, you need to import this module if it's not already installed on your system. You can do that through cpan and download this, and then you need to make an entry for it like I've done here. This is before this program will work. Okay, we're going to create a subroutine. It's called get home directory. Okay, this is the subroutine that we're going to do. So it's very easy to understand. Anyone that sees that knows what the program's about straight away, and that's the name of the game. So let's create a scalar here, which is going to be home folder is equal to file, sorry, capital there, file, home directory, and that's going to be my home. Okay, now we're just going to print out the home folder, which is going to be home folder, and then the scalar. Okay, now all we have to do is to call the program get home folder, save it, and then run it. Oh, seem to have come across a little bit of an error here. Get home folder. Okay, let's check this out. I made a silly little mistake there. I call it home folder. I should have called it home directory. Okay, so let's give that another shot, shall we? There we go. That's the home folder. It's got the home folder for me. See users mark. So there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you enjoyed that. And remember, if you're not already subscribed, do it now, and leave me a comment. Just say hello or whatever you want to say, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. Thank you very much for doing that and supporting the channel. Okay, today we're going to create a subroutine. I'm going to call it delete folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete a folder on the desktop. Delete folder, I'll call this. We're going to use user input to do that as well. So a pretty straightforward program. So first of all, I'll just show you. Okay, this is my folder called X that we're going to delete on here. Right. Okay, so I'm going to create my path to it. So we need a path. We need to tell the program exactly where this folder is going to be, so we can actually delete it. It's going to be in users mark desktop. Okay, this is the path of my computer, it certainly won't be the path of your computer, so you'll have to find out what your computer path is, because if you just type this in and use this, it will throw an error. It won't work. Anyway, let's carry on here. So CHDIR, which is going to be change directory. So we're going to change directory to the path above. Okay, and now we're going to print some info for the user. This is called delete folder. Okay, and now we're going to get some input from the user. So we're going to type in my scalar entry is equal to standard input, and then we're going to chomp it. Chomp scalar entry. Right, and now we're going to use a conditional here, and we're going to use this. So if exists, so that's going to be scalar entry. So the user is going to type in the folder that they want to delete. So if the entry there actually exists, we're going to do something. Let's just knock this down here. Let's make this look a little prettier, shall we? Let's just bring that in a little bit. What's that all about there? Right, okay. So now I'm going to print out some info for the user. So print scalar entry exists, add a deleting folder. Okay, and we use the RMDIR command for that, which stands for remove directory, and that's going to be entry. Okay, and here we go on to the else statement. So if it can't do that because the directory doesn't exist, we're going to print some information that the reader can read. Not the reader, the user. The user can read. So that's going to be scalar entry doesn't exist. Okay, and a new line there. Okay, now all we have to do is to run the program, and we have to call it, and we call it by its name, which is called delete folder. Okay, then just save it, and let's run the program. Okay, so we've got our prompt there, delete folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete folder X. So let's just take that down a little bit there. So that's folder X that we can see above here. So I'm going to hit folder X. Okay, folder X is gone. So let's try it with something else and see if we get the error message. Okay, so we know there's not a folder called this, and it says doesn't exist. So there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you liked that. I hope it was useful, and if it was, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop me a comment, and I'll catch you in another video. We're going to create a new folder, and then we're going to create a file within the new folder. So let's start, but before we do, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Okay, so we're going to create our first subroutine called create folder. And this is on Windows, by the way, guys. I'm not on Linux at the moment, or any type of Unix system. Okay, so we're going to call this my scalar new folder. Okay, and we're going to do env and user profile. And then the oh, sorry about this, guys. Pardon me. And then it's going to be on the desktop that we're going to create this, and I'm going to call it my folder. Okay. And now we're going to come to the command. This command means make directory, and of course we're going to make the new directory, which is going to be new folder. Okay, new folder or die. So if anything goes wrong, this will throw an error message, something like couldn't create folder. Okay. Right, now we're going to create another subroutine, whereas we're going to create a file within this. Okay, so this is going to be sub create file, and we're going to do my path, which is going to be, let's have a look. Yeah, I made a little bit of an error there first. I should have created my folder on the desktop, so let's just create my folder. Okay. Right, okay, so my path, my scalar path is going to be equal to C. And for you, the path will be different. This is for my personal computer. This is the path that I'm using. If you try this on your computer, it won't work, so you'll have to find the path on your computer. That's going to be desktop. And that's going to be my folder. Okay, and then we're going to change the directory to the path here, scalar path. So we're going to change into that particular directory. Okay, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to print to the user what's going to happen. Print creating file inside folder. New line character there. Okay, and we're going to create the file now. So with open and file here, and we're going to use this, which is going to create the new file, and I'm going to call it my file.txt because it's a txt file. Again, we're going to put an error handle on this, or die, if something goes wrong. So couldn't create file. That's the file. That's the error handler. And then we're going to print some text inside the file, which is going to be scalar file, some new text that should be printed inside it. Okay, and finally we're just going to close this file, which is going to be scalar file Okay, now all we have to do, I'm going to create the folder first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call create folder. So this is going to be create folder here. Just save that. Okay, so I'm going to just run that. Okay, I've run into a little bit of a problem here. Let's check this out. Okay, spotted a couple of errors in here. I should have put my there. Then a little comma here. I forgot about that. And at the bottom, I've just written in this print new folder created. Okay, so let's just save that and see what happens. Okay, so new folder created. Let's check out the new folder. There we go, my folder. Okay, let's go back to that. Let's run the next one where we create the file. Okay, let me just save that and run it. Okay, creating file inside folder. Let's see if that happens, shall we? Okay, into there. My file, yep. And some new text. So, there you go. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. Thank you very much for doing that and supporting the channel. Well, everybody, today we are going to create a subroutine here. This is a subroutine and that's called create directory. Okay, and we're going to put a path in here because we're going to create a directory on the desktop. So this is going to be my scalar path, and we're going to create this on the desktop. Remember, I'm on Windows, and remember guys, this path is for my own computer. If you type this path into your computer, it won't work, so you have to find out the path to your desktop. Okay, so the path to my desktop is users mark desktop. Okay, and then I'm going to use CHDIR, which is going to change the directory. I want to change the directory to the path above. Okay, so now I'm pointing at my desktop. Let me just push this up a little bit here. Okay, that's better. Right. Okay, so we're going to create some standard input because we want the user to input the name of a directory to create. So this is going to be directory. And that's going to be equal to standard input. Okay, and we're going to do the chomp underneath it. Okay, and then we're going to use this command called mkdir, make directory. And we're going to make the directory that we entered into here, into the input box, so whatever you called it. Okay, and then we're going to print out a message to the user so they know what's happened. Directory created. Okay, and then all we're going to do now is call it. So let's say create directory. Here. Now we're just going to save it and we're going to run the program. Right, okay, what I'm going to do, I want to make that look better, so I'm just going to modify it a little bit. I'm going to print something in here, so that's going to be print enter name to create. Okay, so I just want to do that there. Okay, let's save that again. Let's run the program again. Okay, there we go. So we can see the prompt there. So I want to create a directory called Dave. Okay, strange name, but there you go. Hit enter. Directory created. Now let's see if we actually have created a directory. Okay, and there you go. It's on my desktop. Dave, Bob's your uncle, and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you enjoyed that. And there you go. There's the code in all its glory. Remember, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel. Drop me a comment. Just say hello or whatever. Today we're going to be creating some basic array lists for complete beginners. So before we do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Thank you very much for doing that. Okay, so we're going to create a basic array here. So I'm going to start off with my, and then this symbol here, and I've got to name the array. So I'm going to name it numbers. Okay, then it's equal to, and we can do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, close it off. And now we just want to print out the array, so we can print it out like this. That's going to be numbers and a new line there. Okay, let's just save that there. Let's run it. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can do the same with names. Simple. So my names going to be equal to, and then we have to do this. So let's say Mark, Dave, and Joe. There we go. Again, print names, a new line character there to make it look nice. Okay, let's just save that. Let's run it. There you go. Mark, Dave, and Joe. I'm going to create an array now, slightly different array, using my, let's say, numbers example again. It's equal to QW, quoted words. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a quick way to create an array. So print numbers again. Okay, let's just save that. And there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, using the QW or quoted words method of doing that. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and remember to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and drop me a comment, and I'll catch you in another video. Bye-bye.